students, let us continue our lesson 7, Akbar and his times. Almost half of the portions and the features introduced by Akbar as the greatest ruler of Mughal dynasty almost we completed, and continue the policies followed and the features contributions continued by Akbar. Next it is Akbar's religious policy. In our last class we studied his revenue system, and the new policy or system or feature introduced by Akbar, we studied that Mansabdari system. Okay, now listen, religious policy related points only. Akbar actually he followed the policy of religious tolerance. That means he tolerant towards all other religions, believed in administering social and equal justice to the followers of all the religions. For following like this way, he continued some of the policies and he introduced some religious beliefs. That's are he abolished jizya, the tax which the non-Muslims were required to pay, and the pilgrim tax. Already we know that you studied that jizya, the non-Muslim or Hindus want to pay a pilgrim tax. It was abolished by Akbar, and he treated all his subjects equally, gave high post according to the merit to the Hindus, especially without any distinction of caste, creed or religion. All one get based on their merit, they got high posts in his court. And he married Rajput princess and allowed them freedom to practice their own faith. For example, I will tell one movie is there in Hindi, Akbar, Jodha Akbar. Jodha means one Rajput princess. Rajput princess, Akbar married Jodha and allowed her, means whatever the policies and features, every beliefs, religious beliefs followed by the Hindu wives, everyone got the permission to follow the same thing. It was actually he permitted them to follow whatever their beliefs or religious practices and religious beliefs, everything, festivals like Diwali, Holi and Raksha Bandhan, everything it was celebrated by the Hindu wives. And he gave land grants to persons of merit irrespective of their religious beliefs. These are the policies he want to means shown that he become a very tolerant person to other religions. For religious policy, he built one thing, it is known as Ibadat Khana. It's a prayer hall. Akbar wanted to create the spirit of love and brotherhood among the people of all religions. In 1575, for that purpose, he built a prayer hall. It is called as Ibadat Khana, prayer hall, hall of prayer, and or the hall of prayer at the capital city Fatehpur Sikri. Remember his capital city, it is known as Fatehpur Sikri. And religious and spiritual topics were discussed every Thursday in this hall. At first these discussions were confined to the followers of Islam only, but later on Ibadat Khana was opened to all people of all religions like Christians, Zoroastrians, Hindus, Jains and even atheists. Atheists, you know that those who are not at all believing any one of the religion. And 1579 Akbar decided to take into his own hands of religious matters and issued on declaration or mahsar. That means this declaration made Akbar the supreme religious head of the Muslims. This one took during this period related as his religious policy. One of the greatest contribution related as religion, it was the introduction of Din Ilahi. Din Ilahi, the new religion introduced by Akbar, that is Din Ilahi. The comparative study of different religions at the Ibadat Khana led Akbar to form the Din Ilahi, which means a divine belief or faith. The new faith included the good points of all religions. It believed in one supreme God. This Din Ilahi is a new religion introduced by Akbar, but the content of this religion was all good points from different religions like Islam, Christian, Hinduism, Zoroastrianism, all the religions to good points only added here for the formation of Din Ilahi. And the purpose of the formation of Din Ilahi was Sulhi Kul, otherwise known as universal harmony or universal brotherhood. All human beings are equal, all human beings are our brothers in universally. That is the meaning of Din Ilahi. And on a system of ethics like justice, peace, honesty, etc., which were universally applicable. There were no sacred books, no priests, no temples or rituals on the new faith or new religion. The members of the faith were to follow a code of conduct which included not to eat meat at least in the month of their birth. to give alms on their birthday, to do good to everybody. These are very nice policies, and he never compelled his people to follow Din Ilahi. And what happened, after the death of Akbar, Din Ilahi came to an end. Just to remember, Ibadat Gana, prayer hall, and Din Ilahi, the new religion introduced by Akbar, related as the same Akbar's religious policy, social and educational reforms. Akbar abolished sati and legalized widow remarriage. He raised the age of marriage to 14 for girls and 16 for boys, for ban or for stopping the practice of child marriage. He restricted the sale of wine and spirits, and he revised the education syllabus and laid more stress on moral education and on secular subjects. And also he set up a translation department for translating works in Sanskrit, Arabic and Greek. For studying all the Sanskrit works into another language and all, he done like this way. These are known as the social and educational reforms introduced by Akbar, related as many points we already studied under religious policy. Everything he introduced here for the social and educational welfare of his people. Only general points and all, for easily you can understand. Read all these points. Among this, Ibadat Khana, Din Ilahi, many more 1-mark questions are there inside this. I told his capital city, everyone, and meaning of Din Ilahi, like this way points. Read the textbook after listening the class. Okay, thank you.